Good day, sellers, and welcome to Stockburst. My name is Rian, and I am the founder of Stockburst, and I will be here to guide you step by step all the way to success and to use this lovely software that we've created for you guys. So, without wasting any more time, let's get started on the onboarding. So, by this time, you have created your profile and you've verified your email. And the first time you log in, you will get this onboarding page on step one. So let's start with step one and fill out the form. So on step one, you will fill out the business details. So that's your business name. So let's just put in here Lorraine, sorry for that, Lorraine Trading. We'll put a contact number. Additional contact number. If we have a website, we can enter our website address. In this case, we do not. Registration number, I will not fill out, but you can put in your registration number here and then also your physical address. And then we will say next. On our next step, you need to select whether or not you are VAT registered. So in this case, we will say we are VAT registered. The VAT percentage is 15, and we can enter our VAT number right here. Then we can say next, and we go to step 3. On step 3, you can choose your invoice accents color. So that is the color that you want to be used on your invoices. So we'll just choose a nice color over here, and then we can also upload our logos that we want used on our invoices. So let's select a picture here, and then also our logo icon. For some companies that will be 2 different pictures, and then we can say next. Okay, on to step number 4, integration. So if you are not a Takealot seller, you won't find much use for this step right here, and you can just scroll to the bottom and say next to move on to step number 5. If, however, you are a Takealot seller, this section is very important. So let's start at the left top. We've got a tick box that says Takealot enabled. By enabling this, you will give Stockburst the ability to integrate with your Takealot seller portal. Then the next box we have is push stock on hand to Takealot. So this will give Stockburst priority over your seller portal. All your stock numbers, prices, and lead times will be pushed from Stockburst to Takealot. So from here on forward, changing any of your information on your products, you will need to use Stockburst and not the seller portal. If you change anything on the seller portal, Stockburst will push the wrong information through to the seller portal, and the data that you have changed on the seller portal will just again sync with your Stockburst profile. So the first thing we need to do is to get our Takealot API key. We have the guidelines here on the right. You're more than welcome to read through that, but let's get this going as quick as possible. So the first thing we need to do is we need to log into our seller portal. So I've logged into a seller portal here. Let's just go to the home page, and we need to find a Takealot API key. So on your seller portal, on your left hand side on the tab, you can go down to API integration and click on seller API. Over here you can scroll down where it says authentication. So this is where we want to be. So some of you sellers might have an API key here already, an API key that you might be using with another third-party app or software. So you can copy your existing API key and use that. However, we do not recommend that. Takealot has set limits to API calls, and having multiple software on the same API key might lead to some trouble and the software not working as intended. So if you have a current key, you can copy that key and use that, or you can delete that key and then generate a new API key. So here we've got the new API key. We can click on copy and we will go back to Stockburst and we can enter and paste that key into this take a lot API key box. Then we've got the next section. It's your take a lot webhook secret. So a webhook is used to get live information from Takealot. You're more than welcome to read more about it here on the right hand side. But for now, we will go back to our seller portal and then we will we'll go to our seller API integrations and we will go to webhooks right below seller API. So in the webhook section, we can scroll down to configuring webhooks and we can say create webhook. So now the create webhook box is requesting a URL. So we go back to Stockburst and you will see that we have given you your own webhook URL for Takealot. So let's copy this right here. Go back to our seller portal. Sorry, we've got HTTPS twice here at the start. So let's just delete the first part. Okay, so we now have our URL entered and we now need to select events. So you need to choose everything that does not end in depreciated. So let's say new dropship order, sales status change, batch completed, offer updated, and offer created. There we go. Verify certificate should be true, and then we can create this webhook. Once this webhook has been created, we want to change the status to active. And then here we've got the secrets. So this is almost like an API key. We need to copy the secret and put that into Stockburst right here. So now we are ready to go and we can say next. So this is the next section, our settings. So at the top, you'll be able to select what you want to show on your invoices. Not every company wants to share all their information with all the clients. So I know some Takealot sellers do not want their website or email address on the invoices that's getting sent to the clients. So in this case, we will say show email address on invoice, and we will say show contact number on invoice. The next section, you can choose your invoice type prefix. So that basically is the text you want to be in front of your invoice number. So for invoice, I would say INV, and then our first invoice number would be INV1. We've got our pro forma invoice, I'll say PFI, and for quote, I'll just say QT. At the bottom, we've got some other settings. We've got default pick list to scan one by one. So this basically means when one of your employees are busy doing a picking list, do you want to scan every product one by one, or would you rather scan one product and enter the quantity, let's say maybe 10? Most sellers would prefer to say scan one by one because that forces you to inspect every single product that you are sending to either Takealot or your clients. So let's click that box right here. Then below that, we've got send buy box one email. So every time you win a buy box, if you want an email sent, you can tick that box over here. Then we've got send buy box price adjusted email. So every time your buy box adjusts its price to win your competitor, do you want to receive an email or not? Then we've got send upcoming event reminder email. So I will tick that box. I want to receive an email with reminders for meetings or any inbound shipments, or let's say if you schedule your deliveries to Takealot. Then we've got send buy box lost email. So if you want to receive an email for that, you can tick that box right there. Then we've got show in-app toast notifications. So I like to tick that. So every time you do something on Stockburst and it syncs with Takealot, you will have notifications on the right top hand side popping down, showing you that something is in fact happening and everything is working. Okay, let's get on to the next section. So, final step is step number 6, and we're just giving you a breakdown of what will happen next and also what you should do next. So, let's read this through quickly. What will happen next? If you have set a Takealot API key, we will do an offer sync, sales sync, and transaction sync after you submit your onboarding. Please allow 5 to 30 minutes for the sync to complete. So depending on your account size, the sync might happen quicker, and then if you've got a big account, the sync might take longer. We will attempt to generate warehouse stock numbers as indicated on your stock on hand field located on the Takealot seller portal. Whether or not this is successful, it is advised to do a stock take using Stockburst as soon as possible to ensure the correct stock levels are indicated on your Takealot stock on hand and avoid overselling. So once you submit this form, we will try and pull your numbers through from your stock on hand on Takealot. Having that stock on hand with the value on your seller portal would mean that you have that in stock in your warehouse. We do advise that as soon as possible you do a separate stock take of your product. As soon as you confirm that stock take, your new stock numbers will be sent through to Takealot. What you should do next, you will submit your onboarding. Then you will input all the relevant information into your product details on the product page. So we will get to that a bit later in the tutorial. But basically, for this software to work fluently, it's better to have more information than less. So we really ask you guys to take the time and insert all the information you can everywhere on the software, but we will get to that a little bit later. Then you can add your clients and suppliers, and you can use the calendar to manage your shipments and schedules. Set up your business access roles and add additional users. And then you can add products to your automated buy box if you are fighting someone on those nasty buy boxes. So let's go ahead and submit our onboarding.